Okay, so stage 3. In this stage, we're going to solve the corners. Now, this stage technically is the first stage that really involves algorithms. Now, before starting this, I would recommend that after finishing stage 2, that you flip over your entire cube so you're crossing out on the bottom, because it'll actually make it a bit easier for solving the corners. Now, the corners, first of all, we need to find them. So we have one here, here, one back here, and then the others. Okay, so they're all on the top. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to just choose any one of them, this one, and we're going to need to put it into its correct setup position. Now what I mean by this is that these two colors here, in this case blue and red, they need to be the two centers that this corner is lined up with. So we have orange and blue here, only one of them is correctly lined up with, because of blue there, blue there. However, red is the other color, but we're not lined up with that one at all. So instead, we're just going to rotate the top face until it is lined up correctly. Just like so. So blue is lined up, so these two are the same color, and these two are the same color. So that basically means the corner is in its correct position. Now, the majority of the cases you can come across in this one, and there's actually 3 cases, is that you should really position the corner in the top right on the front face. And as you can see, it's in the top left in this case, so therefore that means we're going to use this as the front face. And we may use this as the front face for only one of the cases, which has like more than one algorithm. But each of the ones here have 2 algorithms, both of which are actually very short. So this is one of the cases where the white is facing you. So as I said, there's at least 2 algorithms, both of which are very short. So one of the algorithms is this one. U or U prime or prime. So it inserts the corner there. The other one is a little bit different, where it's F prime, U prime, F. So it inserts the corner the same way as well. Okay, so now we're going to move on to another one. This one, for example. So this one is orange and green. It's lined up with only the orange, so we're going to line up correctly. And this time, when we get it at the front face, the one difference is that the white is on this side. Now, this case there's actually technically 3 algorithms, 2 which use this as the front face, and 1 which uses this face over here as the front face. Now, technically, the algorithm over here is technically the same moves as one of the ones here, except it's just viewing from a different angle, as you can see. So, the first one, for solving this one, is U prime, F prime, U, F. Now, another way to do this is if you hold the front face as well, and it's technically the same moves as this face, but just using L instead of F. So U prime, L prime, U, L. So it gets in there. Now, I did mention a third algorithm. Now, it's pretty much a mirror of the 3 move sequence and the other one. So we can do or U or prime. Now, you can learn any one of the 3 algorithms for this one, or any one of the 2 algorithms for the previous one, whichever of them feel comfortable to you, or whichever ones you're comfortable with, really. Okay, so we're going to search for another one. For example, this one. So red and green. We need to line that up correctly, like so. This one has at the front, so we can do those moves, as I said, for the very first corner to solve it. Now there's one final type. Now I'm going to have to change this corner to the type for that case. Okay, now you didn't really need to track those moves at all. Okay, so this one, as you can see, white is on the top. So to do this sequence of moves, what we do is OR U2 OR prime U prime OR U OR prime. So that gets the corners in. Now, as you can see, by this stage, you should have the entire white face solved, plus the sides along here are all solved as well, as I did show in the description of the stages. Okay, so once you have that done, you can then move on to stage 4. Okay, so stage 4. In this stage, we're going to solve the edges that go into the middle layer. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find one of the edges that actually go into there, such as this one right here. Now, the first thing we want to do is the color that's on the side of the top layer, we're going to match that color up with its center, as it is already done. So, once we have that done, we want to then see which of the middle layer slots it needs to go to. And we will know that just by looking at the one on the top layer. So it's orange. The center which it matches is this one over here, not this one, because this is red and this is orange, which matches this color up here. So therefore, we need to bring this edge down to here. So the algorithm that we're going to use to get it down there is U prime, L prime, U, L, U, F, U prime, F prime. And as you can see, it solves that edge and keeps that corner. Okay, let's look around for another one. Okay, so we have another one over here. So this color here is green. So we're going to line that up with the center of the same color, like so. And we look on the top, and it's orange again. So this time, this is red, this is orange. So this needs to go down here between green and orange. So the algorithm to do this is U or U prime or prime U prime F prime U F. So it gets into its position and leaves that corner solved again. Okay, now one other problem is that maybe there is an edge in its position but it's wrong flip, or maybe it's in the wrong slot. If so, hold the cube so it's in either on the right or on the left. Now the algorithm to do this is pretending that there's a piece up here that needs to go down here if you're wanting to do it the right, or if this piece here needs to go down to here if you're doing it on the left. So say if we're holding like this and we want to get it out, we'll do the same algorithm that we did, except you can minus the turn on the U face, since we don't really need to worry about what goes in there. So we do the algorithm that we did to get the piece in there, and it takes that piece out. And remember, you do the algorithm that gets down to the left if you want to do it this face, and that's it pretty much. Now you bring it around to the front, and pretty much it's actually do the same algorithm again. So don't forget to remember those algorithms for the middle layer, because it gets it solved. Now another thing is, if you have an edge piece in an edge piece slot, however, and it's the wrong piece, but however, if the piece that really needs to go there is somewhere on the top, I would technically recommend that you get that piece that's on the top into its correct position, so it takes that out, and it actually saves you time instead of having to do the algorithm which takes the piece out of that slot and inserting it again, so it's doing the same algorithm pretty much nearly twice. So you can just do the algorithm once, and it just takes a piece out and puts the correct piece in. So that's just something to recommend. Okay, so as you can see now we have the two first layers done. So now we're going to move on to stage 5. In this stage, stage 5, we are going to orientate the cross. Unlike what we did in the bottom layer, where we got the 4 edges into position and their correct flip, we are just going to be orientating the cross here. So we're not going to worry about the colors on the sides for this stage. We're going to worry about them in the last 2. Now, when you're doing this stage, you will come across 3 cases. So if we have this case, where we have 2 adjacent edges that form a V shape with the center, what we do is we need to hold it correctly first. So we're going to have one piece on the back layer and one on the left layer. We'll never hold it with one on the left and one on the front, never one on the front, one on the right, and never on the back and the right. So none of those 3. Always one on the back layer, one on the left layer. So when you hold it like this, you can then do the algorithm. And the algorithm to solve this case is F, U, or U prime, or prime, F prime. So as you can see, it forms a cross on the top layer. Okay, so if we have this case where we also have 2 adjacent edges except that they're on opposite sides, what we do is we have to hold it so that's horizontal. So not like this, you can hold it like this. So at any way that it looks horizontal to you, just never vertical in any way, always horizontal. Right, now the algorithm that we use to solve this is actually very, very similar to the case where it looks like a V. So the algorithm for this is F or U or prime U prime F prime. So as this is, it's just swapping over the U and the OR and the U prime and the OR prime. Very simple. Okay, so this is the final type of case where, as you can see, we have no adjacent edges. Now, in fact, when you do this case, or do the algorithm for this case really, that you can have it any way at all. So you could have any of these side faces at the front, so any face at the front except for the white face or the yellow face. You have to have the yellow face on top, as you may know. Just use any of these 4 faces at the front to do it. Now the algorithm that we're going to use is actually a combination of the one for the V and the one for the bar. So just make sure you actually learn those 2 off first, because they will help to do this one. Because as I said, they're just combined. You can do either the one for the V, then the one for the bar, or you can do the one for the bar and then the V. So you kind of get it. Right, so I'm just going to do one of them. So for example, I'm going to do the V one first. Okay, and then I'm able to recognize the next case. Okay, so the cross. So that is why, and that you can even try doing the one with the bar first and then with the V next. Anyway, any way at all, and you will eventually get the cross. Okay. So if you come across any type where all 4 edges are in place, then that's pretty much the whole case solved, as you can see. But if you have, for some reason, 1 or 3 adjacent edges, you've done something wrong in previous stages. So you will have to go back to them, see what the problem is, and just fix it. But don't worry, it shouldn't take long, and you'll eventually finish the entire cross. Okay, so next we're going to move on to stage 6. Okay, so stage 6. In this stage, we're just going to orientate the corners. So kind of like what we did with the edges, where all we're doing is we're going to get the yellow onto each of these areas, and we're not going to worry about these colors around here until 7 and 8. Now, the first thing is that there's 3 cases, but each of these cases has the same algorithm. So the cases pretty much have to be have a different way of you holding it, and I'm just going to show you them right now. Okay, so this is one of the cases that we have, where, as you can see, we have no corners, Now, if we have no corners, what we need to do is we need to look along each side and see if we have a yellow sticker in this position, like we have. So once we have found that, position the cube so that the sticker we are going to use, which is this one, is on the left face and the piece is over here. Okay, so basically hold it like this, the cross is on the top, and the left face will help us knowing which way we have to hold it, and we're going to make sure we have a yellow sticker up here in the top right of this face. Okay, so make sure that you hold the cube like this with this as the front face. Okay, so in this case, as we can see, we have one corner. So if we do have one corner, position it in the bottom left. So it's pretty much the same sort of corner area that we have had the yellow sticker in the previous one. Okay, so position the one corner, if it's a one corner case, in the bottom left. Okay, so this is the final type of case where we have two corners. Now the corners can either be on opposite sides or they can be adjacent. Okay, so once you have found these two corners, next you want to pay attention to the sides of the top layer, mainly to see if you can find any sticker, mainly obviously yellow, in the top left of a face, like so. Now the face that does have this yellow sticker in the top left, we are going to have this as the front face. Okay, cross on top, the face with the yellow sticker in the top left as front face. Okay, so hopefully by the end of that, you should understand each of the three cases and know which way to hold them. Now, as I said earlier on, that each of these cases have the exact same algorithm. Now, the algorithm is OR, U, OR prime, U, OR, U2, OR prime. And also, if you have no corners or even two corners, you should most likely end up with a one corner case. But don't worry, you can just do the one corner case as so. And you may even have to move around the cube as well, but don't worry. Okay, so that should eventually get the entire yellow face done. So keep on practicing that exact same algorithm. So it's pretty much lucky, one algorithm, three cases, keep on going over it, and eventually you'll get the entire yellow face solved. Okay, so next, stage 7.